Hello friends, thank you for joining us for Gau Go Story Time. I'm Brittany, and today we will be reading The Legend of the Indian Paintbrush. Many years ago, when people traveled the plains and lived in a circle of teepees, there was a boy who was smaller than the rest of the children in the tribe. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't keep up with the other boys, who were always running and riding and shooting their bows and wrestling to prove their strength. Sometimes his mother and father worried for him. But the boy, who was called Little Gopher, was not without a gift of his own. From a very early age, he made toy warriors from scraps of leather and pieces of wood. He loved to decorate smooth stones with red juices from berries that he found in the hills. The wise shaman of the tribe understood that Little Gopher had a gift that was special. Do not struggle, Little Gopher. Your path will be the same as others. They will grow up to be warriors. Your place among the people will be remembered for a different reason. In a few years, Little Gopher was older. He went out into the hills alone to think about becoming a man, for that was the custom in his tribe. And it was there that a dream vision came to him. The sky filled with clouds, and out of them came a young Indian maiden and her old grandfather. She carried a rolled up skin, and he carried a brush made of fine animal hairs and pots of paint. The grandfather spoke, "My son, these are the tools by which you shall become great among your people. You will paint pictures of the deeds of warriors and the visions of the shaman, and the people shall see them and remember them forever." The maiden unrolled the pure white buckskin and placed it on the ground. "Find a buckskin as white as this," she told him. "Keep it, and one day you will paint a picture that is as pure as the colors of the evening sky." And as she finished speaking, the clouds cleared and the sunset of great beauty filled the sky. Little Gopher looked at the white buckskin, and on it he saw the bright and beautiful colors, those made by the setting sun. Then the sun slowly sank behind the hills. The sky grew dark and the dream vision was over. Little Gopher returned to the circle of his people. The next day, he began to make soft brushes from the hairs of different animals and stiff brushes from the hair of horses' tails. He gathered berries and flowers and rocks of different colors. He crushed them to make his paints. He collected the skins of animals which the warriors brought home from their hunts. He stretched the skins on wooden frame and pulled them until they were very tight. He began to paint pictures of great hunts, of great deeds, of great dream visions, so that the people would always remember. But even as he painted, Little Gopher sometimes longed to put aside his brushes and ride out with the warriors. But he always remembered his dream vision, and he did not go with them. Many months ago, he'd found his pure white buckskin, but it remained empty because he could not find the colors of the sunset. He used the brightest flowers, the reddest berries, the deepest purples from the rocks. And still his paintings never satisfied him. They looked dull and dark. He began to go to the top of a hill each evening and look at the colors that filled the sky. He tried to understand how to make them. He longed to share the beauty of his dream vision with his people. But he never gave up trying. And every morning when he woke, he took out his brushes and his pots of paint and created the stories of the people with the tools that he had. One night he laid awake. He heard a vision calling to him. "Because you have been so faithful to the people and true to your gift, you shall find the colors you are seeking. Tomorrow, take the white buckskin and go to the place where you watch the sun in the evening. There, on the ground, you will find what you need." The next evening, as the sun began to go down, Little Gopher put aside his brushes and went to to the top of the hill. As the colors of the sunset spread across the sky, and there on the ground all around him were brushes filled with paint, each one a color of the sunset. Little Gopher began to paint quickly and surely, using one brush, then another. And as the colors of the sky began to fade, Little Gopher gazed at the white buckskin, and he was happy. He had found the colors of the sunset. He carried his painting down to the circle of the people, leaving the brushes on the hillside. And the next day, when the people awoke, the hill was ablaze with color, for the brushes had taken root in the earth and multiplied into plants, brilliant reds and oranges and yellows. And every spring from that time, the hills and meadows burst into bloom. And every spring, the people danced and sang the praises of Little Gopher, who had painted for the people. And the people no longer called him Little Gopher, but he who had brought the sunset to the earth. The end.